Today, I'm making a macrame heart. Some assembly required. So, it is almost Valentine's Day. Almost Valentine's Day. But last year, around this time, I made a macrame heart wall hanging, and it was kind of cute. So this year, I have decided to challenge myself to come up with a new one. I made a teeny tiny little sampler out of baker's twine because, I don't know, I like to see if it will even work before I start measuring huge, long, actual macrame cord. So, not perfect, and I did not cut my twine long enough, even a little bit, so I had to leave the bottom open. But my plan is to make kind of a bumpy heart top and leave some space in the middle for me to weave, and then finish it off at the bottom. This obviously will actually be knotted in, hopefully, in my real size one. So today I'm going to do the macrame part, and then next time, in the next video, I will do the weaving. I figured it seems fun. Let me try it. The last time that I wove on my macrame was okay. It wasn't like the best thing, but I feel like it could be done better. So, you know, I'm trying again. So here we are. This is my plan. Let's make it bigger. See how that goes. Before I start, I'm gonna gather my supplies. You'll need a stick or a dowel, tape, and 24 cords. Mine are 14 feet long. Turns out that that was excessive. 10 to 12 feet would probably have been just fine. Now, I'll fold the cords in half and attach them to my stick with lark's head knots. You take your folded loop, wrap it up behind your stick and over, and then pull the rest of the cord through your loop and pull it nice and tight. Keep making lark's head knots to attach all of your cords across your stick. Don't squish them too close together or your knots later are going to be really crowded and way more annoying. Now we're going to tie each set of 2 cords together across the top with square knots. I feel like this will just help it be a little bit more secure than if I just used lark's head knots. You make a square knot with 4 cords. The 2 in the middle just stay there, and the cords on the sides are your working cords that you tie with. Starting with the right hand cord, go under the middle cords and over the left cord. Then take the left hand cord over the middle cords and under the cord on the right. Now pull your knot tight up to the top. Next, start with the left cord. Go under the middle cords and over the right. And then the right cord goes over the middle cords and under the left. Pull it tight, and that's it. A square knot. Continue making square knots across the top. Now I'm going to draw the bumps for the top of the heart on a piece of paper so that I can keep my knots even and just in the right place. I'll just tape it down on the table so it stays where I need it. To start the left hand bump of the heart, I've tied a square knot between the 3rd and 4th knot in from the left. When it's tied, the working cords will stick out a little bit, and if you do it right, it's right on your line that you drew. We're going to tie our half hitch knots to these cords. And this is where the line that we drew will be really handy. I'll do my very best to keep my knots right on the line. So first, I'm going to tie my half hitch knots toward the left. So take the next cord to the left of your square knot and wrap it up and over the curvy cord and push it through the back to the right. Now pull it tight. Repeat those steps, keeping the knots right on the drawn line. That's a half hitch knot. Now we will just keep making these knots, following the curve, until we reach the last cord on the left. Now that that half is finished, we will start back up at the top and go to the right. These knots are basically the same, except you wrap the cord around to the back and then pull it through to the left. And then, once again, to complete the knot. Continue your knots along that line that we drew down to the middle, and then repeat all this on the right side of the heart. It's the moment of truth, and you can lift up your stick and see if everything hangs okay. I mean, this seems fine. Let's keep going. Now we are going to make alternating square knots and fill in the top of the heart. I think it will fit the curve better with 2 knots on the top row rather than 1. And then the next row will have 3 knots, and so on until we get all the way across. So like I already said, I'm going to leave space in the middle of this heart to weave. So I'm going to end my little square knot section here. You could keep doing your square knots for a few more inches if you wanted, like however big you want your heart to be. I folded some paper to try to picture where the bottom point of the heart should start. That's how I'll know where to start my knots again and sort of taper them in to the bottom. I'll just tape it down so it stays right here. I'm going to stick some tape all the way across this section of the heart to mark out the line where I want to start. And that is where I'm going to start making more square knots all the way across. Now, these guys are going to make smaller rows every single time, coming to a point at the bottom. Now here, I'm going to echo the top bumpy parts by making more diagonal half-hitch knots along these edges at the bottom. I like the right side better than the left. See how they're all loose over here? I will just tie them over again. There, I like that better. Does it look exactly the same as it did before? Maybe. Let's peel off the tape and see what we've got. Not bad. Ha, see, maybe I didn't need quite so much cord, but I was paranoid because my trial one I didn't have nearly enough, so I may have gone just a tiny bit overboard. But if you didn't want weaving space in the middle and you did more square knots instead, you would probably use at least a little bit more cord, so that's something to consider. You also might want to leave more space at the top.
Once again, I was paranoid and I didn't think I would have enough, even though I had way too much.
There are a lot of different ways to finish the bottom. Of course, I don't know what would look best, but I tried some braids just to see. They're kind of interesting. I think I'm gonna go with that. I don't know that the braids really match 100%, but I am keeping them anyway. Ta-da! Maybe when I weave, I might come back and wrap these guys with maybe a bright colored yarn? I don't know, just to give it some kind of something happening down here. It's a lot of tan. Taupe. Off-white. I mean, I think this is pretty cool. You could probably, if you were looking for a different way to do it, you could make it wider probably, and then you could make the heart a lot bigger. You could start it a little bit lower, and that would be a different kind of a look. I don't know. I like this better than the last one that I did so far. We'll see. So the next time when I come back with my next video, I'm going to weave along here. I'm thinking I would like to try something thick and puffy, maybe a really, really fat yarn or roving. I don't know. I haven't done that before, and so of course I think that it seems fun. I don't know if it'll be pretty, but it will be fun. So stick around. Don't miss that. Let me know what shape you might like to see in another wall hanging. I'm very proud of myself for figuring out all the spacing and how to make this work. And I'm really excited about my lines. I think that drawing the lines on the paper was very clever, because you will notice those aren't round. They're not round at all. So with the lines, at least I was able to curve my edges a little bit more. So if you're looking for a way to curve something in macrame, definitely draw it out first. Otherwise, woo, all funky. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment about what else you'd like me to make with macrame. And if you are not subscribed, make sure you do that so you don't miss my next video where I weave. You can subscribe right underneath the video, and make sure you click on the all notifications button so that you do not miss anything. Until the next video, I will be rating my yarn supply. Be awesome, and I will see you then. Bye!